your beep.
Yeah,
What's
I
up?
was getting my beep.
What's up, babies? While Tracy's over there getting her beep for her hourly water drinking seminar sessions, we are not joined by very many people today because everybody's got things to do. Amber, a little under the weather. Funk Master V owns a cab company, so he's when you get long, 20 what's he doing, like a 3 hour run, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So Funk Master V's uptown cabs renowned. Don't drive drunk, ride with the funk if you're in Sevier County, or you need a ride that you want to pay a lot of money if you want to trip out to Vegas or something. And Tracy's got her vibrator on, and
I'm
so
turning it silent. Golly.
we are joined by Funk Master VII,
Hello.
otherwise known as Mikey. Now Mikey's gonna be, he did our commentary track with us on Friday, which was so much fun. I don't remember some of it because I played the drinking game.
And you got drunk as hell.
Oh, I don't remember. Probably the second last third of the movie, I don't remember logging off, and I don't remember going to sleep. And on my Fitbit, it's hilarious on my readouts, because it's like every night I've got like good sleep and my blood pressure's good and my heart rate's great, but then Friday night it's just in the tank and then it comes back up. So you don't really realize what alcohol does to, if you live like that, man, like I said, you're just, you gotta stop. And
yeah, you were really drunk. I came in your room after the commentary and you were just focusing out of existence.
yeah, so learn this lesson. Don't drink
a lot of
unless
beer.
it's moon pie beer. Hey, Jay Lynch is joining us. Jay should click
Jay.
on, send him the link. We haven't talked to Jay in a long time. Jay's a great guy. Jay does a bunch of podcasts on his YouTube page. You should probably go and find it. He can post the link in the chat room, because Jay's got a lot of great. Him and his wife, Teresa, do a show on Mondays called Sit, Chat, and Laugh with the Lynches, and it's just just husband and wife sitting around bullshitting about, it's supposed to start off as a paranormal show, like me and Vinny tried to do a paranormal show that, it turns into, you don't talk about anything paranormal except for that's stupid. But,
Yeah,
and,
moon pie beer.
yes, it's the Naked River Brewing Company has made moon pie beer, and
also hi Michael Leach.
Yeah, Michael
Yes.
Leach, what's up? This is expensive. That's the problem with it. For a 4-pack was $16,
Good golly, Miss
which
Molly.
I did not realize that until I got until the guy goes, that'd be $26. Like, what? But
Ow.
so Tracy, this is
Yes, dear.
it's been weird. The last month we've been doing this podcast to kind of keep in touch with each other and everything, but it's like with WJHC winding down, I got into a pattern where me and you and Amber and Vinny and Travis, to an extent, and Michael and the cast, really we spent so much time together. Every weekend we were together.
Mm-hmm.
And now for the last month, this is all we got is these podcasts with just a couple pickup shots. Like we filmed Heaven this weekend, because obviously a movie where it was funny because we pulled up and the guy, me and Vinny left Amber's house after we recorded a couple weeks ago, and we drove past this cow pasture that had this beautiful old schoolhouse in it. Like, I don't remember, was it 1800s schoolhouse with, it still had
yeah, that looks like 1800s and early 1900s.
He said it was actually younger. The building was actually younger than what I had expected that it would be, but it was really close to those cows.
Yeah,
Like,
it had the church bell still in it, and it was out in the middle of this field surrounded by mountains and cows, and man, Jay,
it was very beautiful.
Jay, if I could talk this guy to do a ghost hunt there, it probably, I don't know if it was haunted or not. We didn't spend much time in it, but this place. You know, it was almost like the TARDIS. From the outside, it looked like a shack. Then you go inside, and it's huge, and it's beautiful. And you know, it was that messed me up because I walked inside and then you have to like walk back outside, going, "Is this thing really?
Really?
What's
Is
going on?
Really
here?
big or small?
Yeah,
It's got a pocket dimension.
Some whole
Yeah.
Doctor
Clearly,
Who
it's
shit.
a rudimentary pocket dimension.
but the actual, you know, we caught it. The sun was going down, but trying to explain to this guy what this movie was about, because he was a definite old school, you know, Southern
hilarious.
Baptist Christian dude, and we're out there filming Heaven with Funkmaster V in various stages of undress, and I'm lying down in you know, cow shit, trying to get the shot, anything for the shot, you know.
Yeah, Jay Lynch. I'm pretty sure Mitch has some pictures of the place.
Yeah, I think, and also, you know,
Post
our
some
friend
pictures.
yeah, we got some pictures, but it would be great for photography, and it'd be really cool to see. Jay Lynch has this really close friend whose name is Bodine the Bigfoot, and he's a hillbilly Bigfoot, and you know, Jay has exclusive rights, you know, and insight into where that Bodine is, and it's really weird that they're such good friends, but you never see them in the same place together. It's like Jay will disappear and then Bodine will show up. It's weird. But it would be a great place to get some shots of Bodine, and you can hang out with the cows.
What am I doing? Oh my gosh.
You're
I don't know what
highlighting-
I'm doing.
No, when you do that, you highlight
so
what we're
sorry.
talking about from
Yeah.
the comments.
Yeah.
But no, that place was great, and I was like,
Sorry.
oh, we're gonna spend some time. I got to meet we got to meet Britt and her husband for the first time. Well, for the first time for me.
Yeah.
And you know, me and you got to hang out for a little bit, but then when all was said and done, like Mikey came with, because it's a little foreshadowing thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to do Easter eggs for every movie in other movies, and we were there for 20 minutes, and we was done, and then we were like leaving. I'm like, wait a minute, shouldn't we just stand here in this field and bullshit with each other? But everybody was leaving. But
I was expecting to get invited to Waffle House somewhere.
Yeah,
We
something like
needed
that.
food somewhere, but
Well, and I
nobody said anything.
And I feel real bad because we had Mitch come out and you know, put on the full Flash the Furry outfit and stand out there, and he had what messed me up is he brought his buddy with him, and his buddy put the robe on and was probably the most accurate Jesus I've ever seen in my life, and he wasn't playing Jesus.
He
But, you
should
know,
have.
Yeah, he looked Jewish, Mideastern.
And his name is Joseph.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I wanted to hand him the baby.
but yeah, he had the brown skin, and you know exactly how they would describe Jesus in the thing. So that might throw a few people off in the movie, going, "Is that supposed to be Jesus?" Because I think that's Jesus right there.
He for sure did look like Jesus with a robe on.
Yeah, but you know, it's certain people are like, when I first met the guy, he was just Mitch's friend, and Mitch is a weird dude, and his friends are weird dudes, and we love them all. You know, we do not like regular people. We love weird dudes.
It's basically you.
But as soon as I got the camera in frame on this guy, and I'm like, this guy has got the it factor, and he's going to steal this scene. And I don't want him to steal this scene because this scene needs to be focused somewhere else. But it's weird. It's like Tracy, you're a very unassuming human being when you walk around. You know, you're pretty. You got, you know, your hair just right, but you know, you also
It is freshly cut.
Yeah, you know, from I think that was the lady that yelled at me for stealing a case of soda from in front of the Chinese bodega on the south side of Chicago. It looks just like her.
You're being racist. Stop.
No, it looks
Stop. No,
just
you just
like
stop.
her.
Stop.
It
Okay.
just
Well,
like
you think
But-
all Asian people look the same?
No, but she happened to look exactly like the woman that was yelling at me hilariously.
Okay.
Aaron.
No, she was actually a friend of mine.
Oh.
And we used to mess with we used to do stupid stuff in Chicago that probably would have got us arrested, but we always we never messed with strangers. We always messed with friends. Like we do things like, with her, what we do is she would put this beautiful display of 24 packs of soda out in front of her convenience store, and we would take them, rearrange them, or she also had the front of the store there's no windows, so it's out there, and she couldn't see what was going on. So, or we'd literally spend an hour taking all the cases from the front of the store and putting them behind the store, and just stupid stuff, just to be dicks. But she was also, like I said, she was a friend of ours, so I'm not saying anything negative. But yeah, but the heaven scene is another problem with the heaven scene, but maybe it's a positive, is it was so beautiful.
It literally looks like heaven if I would imagine it.
Look at all those trophies that kid has. Those are all basketball trophies.
One is yours and the rest are mine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Except for the Harry Potter stuff over there.
Yeah, well, he's got a few more actual trophies and stuff, but yeah, this kid, if you can't see that's my son Mikey, and he is 13 years and 3 months old, and he's 6'4".
Yeah,
and his basketball team has never lost a game.
undefeated.
So,
they lost
Because
every
he
game
just
before
walks
I
over
joined the
and-
team.
yeah.
Yeah, before I joined the team, they lost like every game. They
Well,
won
him-
some,
Me and
but
Mikey worked pretty hard on basketball. We took a walk today to have him learn how to like walk and dribble, or get better at walking and dribbling. And it's like, I want this kid to be so far ahead of where I was, because I didn't have anybody teach me to play basketball. I learned how to play basketball by watching the NBA and then going to the courts on the south side and playing ball. That's how I learned how to play. Nobody ever actually taught me how to play basketball, and I was really good. Now Mikey is getting that education, because I dunked for the first time in 8th grade. He's going into 7th grade. We're hoping that he's going to dunk a year earlier than me.
and I'm also probably going to be taller than you. You were 14 in high school, if I remember.
Yeah, I was a little. I didn't. I skipped around a few grades. I didn't.
Yeah, you
I
skipped like
graduated.
2nd grade, if I remember.
Yeah, I graduated very young. I graduated on my 17th birthday, so I can't judge by. But anyway, that's not interesting. It's so funny, Tracy, that your cat is always sitting behind you, licking itself, and it looks like it's licking you.
He's a very itchy guy.
Yeah.
We're working on it, but
And
yeah,
you'll steal Richard real quick.
I don't mind at all if he's just hanging out back there and scratching and licking himself.
Well, maybe
and
you need
stuff.
some lotion.
That doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is when I'm sitting here just normal, and all of a sudden he takes his claw and goes on the side of my head. Like, move, bitch, I can't see the screen. I'm like, what the hell is that?
We could, not to get back into paranormal stuff, but one of the original paranormal things that happened to me was I had a cat named Fat Kitty. And we're actually in this room, which is weird because it's not this room anymore, but right where I'm sitting, she died. But it was another house, but we got rid of that house. And I buried her probably 8 feet off to my left. But what Fat Kitty used to do is she used to sleep behind my behind my knees. And then she would itch her ear. And when she'd do that, it would shake the whole bed. Well, after she died, that kept happening. And to this day, sometimes it still does, but it's weird because it only happens when I have the bed in certain places in the room, because I'll move the bed around to different places, just, little razzle dazzle, for my sex life.
God damn it, Dad.
I want to scar my son for life. But yeah, that was like one of the first when I realized that pets can haunt. Animals can also haunt, because that cat stayed with, and instead doesn't happen that frequently anymore, but it still does once in a while.
I guess Fat Kitty got tired of
Poor
trying to bother you.
Poor Fat Kitty. I miss my kitty. She was my baby. She was so fat that when she'd stand up, like straight up, her stomach was on the ground.
What?
Yeah.
So
Have you
basically,
ever considered putting the cat on a diet?
Well, we got her when she was older, and she was like that, and she had clumps of fur, and we had to cut the fur out and everything, and eventually she lost enough weight to where she could screw around, but she was still my chubby girl. And she actually died because she jumped off the bed and broke her leg, and then it got infected. And she died.
Well, that's just a ray of sunshine on that story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Wow. So what have we learned this week? Have we learned anything this week?
Yeah. No.
No?
Yeah,
I learned that it's really cool to be the manager of a restaurant, the rooftop of a restaurant, except for when it's 95 degrees outside.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
Instead of cool.
Yeah. We have fans every 3 feet, and it's still, we're all just.
And how you got concussion one day because of a fan.
They did. They put new fans in. If you look at my Facebook page, they got these fans that look like Megatron, and they hung them everywhere. So the first day they hung them up, they put one right in the pathway where we all normally walk, and the bartender hit his head twice on it, cut his head wide open, and got a concussion and had to go home.
Oh my gracious!
About 2 hours left in the day, I hit my head on it, gave myself a concussion, and should have went home. And so
you didn't get that bad of one.
That's what I'm learning. Sometimes you need to deviate from the path that you normally take, or avoid a concussion.
Yeah, let's just avoid concussions entirely. Excessive abuse of the vehicle leads to premature breakdown.
We could do that.
And premature breakdown means not making as many movies. And that would suck.
No, I don't want to do that. Actually, really, honestly, I want to after this next movie. I want you and Amber to really get a hand of directing, and because I'll line up the shots and you guys can see what I'm doing, but I want you guys to get the hand of directing because I have to. This is really I really want this to be like my last movie that I am on screen in, but I have to be in CGM because of the way it's structured. It's a kind of a fourth wall movie. So
it's gonna be so freaking fun.
Yeah, but you and Amber are gonna do probably be the directors of that. And
like my responsibility.
Yeah, the next movie is mostly on screen is going to be me. Is the three of us are actually the main three stars of that movie. But I really want to not be in front of the camera anymore. I want to be behind the camera directing because I think that with some of the feedback, negative feedback we're getting on the hike has a lot to do with one
camera.
Let me say this out loud. If you go and watch the music video I posted today, it was shot with the exact same camera that we used for the hike, and it looks freaking fantastic. 4K graphics. You could see it pops. It looks beautiful. For some reason, we processed the hike so much to get it down. We had to process it down so much because I think the original cut where it looked beautiful the whole way through was like 300 gigabytes worth of movie. So we had to process it down drastically, and we lost so much. So we've got to work on a way to have maybe a different hard drive or something. But you can't put a 300 gigabyte movie onto Amazon. You have to put a 12 gigabyte or less movie on Amazon. So that kind of sucks that you have to decompress so much. And I don't know how, when you have a $60,000 red camera or something, it's easier to process it down and keep the graphic rates and the pixelations and everything. But when you have a $17,000 Canon, it doesn't really process well. So, because I was,
And who can afford one of those crazy red cameras?
Well, Vinny always talks about renting them, but I don't like to break other people's shit. If I'm going to break something, I want to break my own shit, How
about we just don't break it?
You can't make those promises. I almost broke in the cave scene. I almost broke my camera. I actually sacrificed my entire body and fell onto this rock floor covered in bat shit, holding the camera up going, I got it.
It's probably a lot like car rentals, and they offer like optional insurance for like an
Well,
upsell.
I'm
Like,
sure
you
they
want
do,
fries or insurance with that?
but again, we learned most of our filming style and technique from Paranormal TV, which is a run and
Yeah,
gun. It's a run and gun. It's not
yeah.
a set the camera, let's set this up. You run and gun. You just move and
Hmm.
move. And trying to do that with a camera that weighs 80 pounds.
Oh gosh,
And
they weigh that much?
yeah, they're
Gracious.
yeah. And
Nuts to that.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's to try, they've got monitors on them that are bigger, that are the size of my computer. They look like a laptop hanging off the thing, and it's like, I don't need any of that. I need a good core camera. That's it.
I saw an Instagram post from because I'm following apparently I'm following camera guys from Outlander. I don't even know, man. But I saw this really cool don't judge me. So I saw this really cool rig. It was like a go-kart, like a golf cart go-kart sort of deal, and they had built this PVC frame, and then the camera guy was sitting there with a beanbag in his lap on the back of it, holding the camera. But they used a beanbag, I guess, to like lessen the shaking and stuff. I was like, I want one.
This is something we're probably going to use in Camp Smokey. Is I saw a video of the making that 1917, I think, the one shot movie, and a lot of that was filmed out of a back of a Jeep in reverse. And I'm like, I got a Jeep.
Why drive it in?
Because driving it forward, you actually, it catches the reflection of the anything you do, it will catch reflections. Like, even if you put a tarp over the front of the Jeep, it still catches, the light reflects off that and gets in the camera. So they installed the camera on the back of the Jeep and drove backwards. I'm like, oh, we got to try that just to try it.
We could just drive forward.
You can't.
And have the characters moving.
It catches the reflection off the hood, no matter what they put.
You put the camera on the back, but you're driving the car forward. That way, like.
But I know, but you're still recording over the hood, and that reflection always screws with their camera.
It's fine. Well, look, I'll get out the little toy cars and show you at some point.
Either that, or I also saw this really cool thing where they did it with, they have a camera mount on an RC controlled car. I might want to try that because.
Oh, that's so fun.
Because trying to hold the camera the right way to do that ground one, or I've got the trucking gimbal that's only 5 foot long, and so that's, you only get 5 feet worth of shot. Mikey, what the hell?
What are you doing?
You're doing backflips? You're doing
At least he was muted.
Oh yeah, I went to abduct a Wobbuffet.
Oh, he stole a cat. So.
Hi, Brandon. I hope you're well.
Yeah, hi, Brandon.
Brandon Hughes is in the chat.
Well, he said that one of the things we get the main hit on the negative reviews is two things. One's bullshit, one's not. One is there's no plot to this movie.
I was going to say that earlier.
There is so much plot. There's like 15 different reviews that say there's no plot to this movie. I'm like,
it's filled with plot.
It's all plot. There's so much plot, but it just people don't understand. They're so used to being force fed the movie instead of letting the movie play out that they don't get it. But the other one, they're right. It was a low budget movie.
That's not a flaw. That's a feature. Yeah. It's a feature.
Yeah. How are you gonna be like, hey man, this indie low budget movie is really indie and low budget? Yeah, shithead, it is. But
it's supposed to be.
That means that we got a bargain.
Yeah, it looks like it was filmed on a phone. I was like, I gotta be honest with you, phones like the Galaxy Note 8, which is 3 generations of phones ago, is a better camera in it than they filmed all the Star Wars prequels in. So yeah, how many people use phones to record movies? Tons of people. Mm-hmm. Almost, it's almost to the point where buying a camera, I could have probably done better with the processing rate if I'd have used my Note 9 instead of the expensive camera. just how it is. The problem is the sound isn't up to speed. You know, we've got we got microphones all over the place, and they just don't plug in right to a phone. But like, we recorded, everybody said how great season 3 of Wrestling with Ghosts looks, all filmed with my Note 9.
My S21 Ultra
Damn.
could probably do a decent
No,
job.
your S21 Ultra is like rocket science. It's technology.
I bought it for the camera.
Yeah, those things are ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. It's got 100x. I got a moon picture where you can actually see craters, and I was like,
Yeah, the technology and cameras on phones are, you know, to say it looks like it was recorded on a phone is no longer a insult.
Thing.
Yeah, it's no longer an insult.
Yeah.
You know, and we were going for a 90s vibe. We were going for Clerks. We're going for Mallrats. I think it looks every bit as good as Mallrats. We'll go watch Mallrats again. That's what we were going for. We were going for Clerks and Blair Witch.
Good old Blair Witch Project.
You know, and I think it turned out great. I love the movie. So
I don't like Blair Witch Project. It gave me a panic attack. I was like a child.
I haven't watched it.
It freaked me out. Like,
I will say,
I literally was hyperventilating outside of the theater. Like,
I will say that I grew up on, like, the first movie I ever watched in a theater when I was, I think, 6 years old was the original Poltergeist, and Faces of Death. You know, and when Faces of Death first came out, everybody was, you know, you had these little videotapes that people would be like, oh, I got Faces of Death. You know, it was like a secret you had. You know, it's like I got weed, man. And it put in Faces of Death, and everyone's like, oh, I was like, oh, it's fake. Oh no, that's fake. You know, I was the one to see that those things were all faked. And then, so I was desensitized, but I started to fall in love, you know, watching Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and you could see the mistakes. I was desensitized to horror movies until I watched The Blair Witch. That movie scared the shit out of me.
At least I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it now.
Mikey,
Ugh,
you can't yet. Probably next year, maybe you can. I think Jenny watched it, but Jenny was also she grew up. My daughter, she grew up watching. You know, she loved Evil Dead 2. She loved horror movies. Our favorite movie is this found footage movie that kind of makes fun of Ghost Adventures. It starts off the first half hour, you're like, this is stupid. It's just they're making fun of Ghost Adventures, and then it gets real. It's called Grave Encounters. And I believe it's free on Amazon, and it is great. You know,
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's great.
We watched it once before.
Yeah, we did. And the second one is okay, but the first Grave Encounters is fucking amazing. And I'm like, I want to do a movie like that, but found footage. People say that's easy, the easiest form to make. No, it's not easy to tell a story that way. Movies like As Above, So Below, I think it's called. Great movie, found footage style, great movie. But I'm like, man, that had to be some shit to piece that together. That wasn't, you know,
That was a mistake.
Blair Witch was all filmed chronologically and almost like a performance art where they just left notes for the people. And in the middle of the night, they'd actually they'd have them spend the night out. You know, they were out in the woods and they would scare the shit out of them at different things. And a lot of their reactions are real reactions. So the only cues they had, the direction they had, was notes left behind. I'm like, that is probably a little easier to put together than something like As Above, So Below, where it tells a story. And that movie's pretty frightening too. That's the weird thing is I haven't been scared by any movie besides found footage movies. Found footage movies mess me up. Like the original Cannibal Holocaust, that movie messed me up. Because that one doesn't look well. They actually do kill animals in it. That's why it's a banned movie. But it was filmed in 1979, and you know, but that made it real. But when you watch Faces of Death and everybody thought that stuff was real, the thing that gives it away is the camera angles. The edits and the cuts, like, you know, people are swimming and then they get attacked by giant leeches and then they go running out of the water and it cuts to a video of them running out of the water. You know, the angles change. So I was like, that's what threw me. I was like, wait, this is fake. but I love it. It's such great. It was such great fakeness that's what we're going to start getting more and more into. Is we want to do those old school effects, those old school in camera effects. There's one thing in Face to Death that I want to use, which was it was terrifying the way they did it. Is this woman or these two nurses were trying to hold a guy down that was a psych patient, and of course camera angles ruined it, but they took a screwdriver and drove it right into here, and you saw the metal blade in her mouth, and I was like, oh,
that sounds cool.
Yeah, there's another scene where like these cult members catch a guy, and it's two girls, and one takes a knife to his face and flips the skin off his cheek, and it looks great. And then while sawing through his neck, this might come up in the next movie, while sawing the knife through his neck, they get to a point and his face just goes where, the nerve reaction gets. I'm like, that is so attentive to detail, and it spooks you out so much. That's the stuff we're going to bring back. And instead of just, like slasher movies, Camp Smoke is a slasher movie. At its essence, it's a slasher movie. Even though the main character is the good guy, it's basically like a reverse slasher movie. But most slasher movies have really dumb deaths. They just walk around a tree and stab them, which we did in the last movie. So it was a kind of a dumb death, but it's what we had to deal with. I want to do cool deaths. I want to do things that make people. I want things that stick with. If Tracy,
like that hike.
Yeah, Tracy, I've said this probably a lot, where I'm all about those little moments.
Mm-hmm.
Things, like movies. I don't even remember the movie, but I remember the moment. And it's little things. Tarantino's good with them, where he has little like people eating. I put that in the hike. Us eating ribeye, but it looked gross, and when you hear we're eating with our mouths open, that's something that is gross, but it's memorable. And there's other movies that was in that I was like, that's gross and that's memorable, and I want to do little things like that because I don't like easy mistakes, which people like. You watch any Law and Order SVU or whatever, and they have a SWAT team behind them, and the detectives wearing a thin vest are the one that breached the building. That never happens. That would never happen. The detectives don't breach the building. It's little things like that I don't want, that piss me off, and I want to rectify that. I want to, in our movies, if somebody's holding a gun, if a police officer is holding a gun, his finger's not on the trigger. Things like little things that I was watching a movie the other day. Just the other day, it was a terrible movie. I gotta say, it was terrible. It was called something Milkshake Bomb or Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake.
Yeah, Gunpowder Milkshake. And
I heard good things about it.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. It is fucking terrible, and it's because they're trying too hard to be John Wick and Deadpool. It was kind of like the Harley Quinn, the last Emancipation of Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie. She was trying too hard to be. They tried too hard to make female Deadpool. It just didn't work. This movie was trying to do the same thing, and they got great actresses, some of my favorite actresses. But like, there's a scene where three guys are in the doctor's office and they huff laughing gas, and so for the next 10-15 minutes, they're all. That's not what laughing gas does.
Only reason Deadpool was very good was because Ryan Reynolds. Yes,
exactly. But anybody that's actually been on laughing gas knows that as soon as that gas is off your face, you're not laughing anymore. Same thing as helium. People, in movies, they'll suck on helium and then they're talking for 10 minutes going, blah, 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 blah. But if everybody's sucked on helium, they know it lasts for half a sentence. You're like, hey, that was really funny.
You got to turn the knob on the tank and leave it on and fill the whole room with laughing gas.
But it's just little
Feed
things
me,
like
Seymour.
that we paid so much attention to detail on the hike that people are kind of missing, and some people got it. but a lot of people miss that attention to detail in the hike that we put in.
Yeah, like the newspaper scene. I went back and watched it after the commentary. That is hilarious.
Yeah, there's little things that Vinny put in there that really that made me. I didn't know he was going to do some of this stuff. That newspaper article, if you could pause it at the right moment and read that newspaper article, it ruins the whole movie. It's a spoiler for the whole movie comically, but I just, that's why I really, Vinny's a magician with editing, and
he's good at it. He's great, actually.
But if you watch like Wrestling with Ghosts, let's get away from the hike for a minute, but watch Wrestling with Ghosts, the heart and soul and that he puts into that show, we could have just done a show that basically is three or four of us acting like buttholes while we investigate ghosts, and just keep it playing like they do on TV, where it's just every between commercial breaks is one long segment. Vinny don't do that. Vinny injects heart and soul and jokes and stupidity, and like my favorite is season one of the bonus episodes.
Was it the Mitch one?
I think it was, but we were at Mitch's barn, and the idiot that we had with us at the time was recording, and for some reason he kept recording Vinny's money clip in his pocket. And Vinny he's like, and then we get a noise that comes off of this area, and we would have caught it on tape, but Justin's too busy filming that money clip, bling blang, and he zooms in on it, and it's just like, see, who does that? That is art. What he does, his editing is art, and not beautiful art. It's chaotic comedy art,
which I think is one of the best kinds.
Yeah,
personally.
Well, that's what's happening to art or to comedy now. Is it's the last true art form, and now it's getting blasted. I saw this like 60-year-old lily white woman who was a Harvard professor, who is now apparently the foremost expert on racism. And
I'm sorry.
And she was going on a whole diatribe about how racial comedy is racist. It's just that's how white people are being racist under the guise of it being humor. I was like, no, that is art, and they are exposing their own hypocrisies and their own demons and societies within making you laugh about it. Because once you laugh about something, you take away its power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once, if some dude comes up to you on the street and he's going to beat your ass, and you go, that dude just lost every inch of power. It's one thing my grandpa taught me. He says, you never want to fight a man who's laughing, because he's enjoying that shit. You never fight a man who's laughing. So if you walk up to somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, I've been waiting for this. Let's go, man. Yeah, you just run. Because your power's gone. He owns you. Or she, whoever. Shim. They own you.
I'll have to try that next time.
Save them.
Somebody tries to fight me. Oh, crap!
Oh, there you go. More blood.
Geez. Yeah.
We have more blood on this podcast than we do in the next movie.
Fuck.
Mikey, shh, watch your language.
You're a child.
There's people watching.
Go eat soap or something. Gracious. You. Don't cuss like us. What's wrong with you?
Jesus.
Everything.
But
Luke, open your present. I'm tired of waiting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I got to open my
present. About your present.
Mikey, you're going to be in on this.
Oh, what?
How is he going to be in on it?
Well, I mean, he gets to share in the mirth of the whatever's about to happen.
Everybody's going to share in the mirth. Like, the mirth will be worldwide.
What did you do?
But I cut apart a bag. I'm very frugal.
I can't open it.
Yes, you can. You can do it.
No, I have a knife here. Wait,
it's
no,
like
Mikey,
craft paper.
I'm really bad. I should do it like those unboxing videos where it takes them 20 minutes to open something that should take them 3 minutes.
Don't take 20 minutes.
Oh, a Cliff Bar. I want a.
Like I said, I'm very frugal.
I wanted a Cliff Bar.
I got 3 more
Wait,
boxes of those coming in the Kroger order tomorrow. Yay!
Wait, can I go over there and get one as well?
No, it's not Cliff Bars. It's a reused box.
All right, so you put it in a bag, in a box, in a bag. Is it
It's not a bag. It's wrapped in tissue paper that is reused from my shoes
Is it a
that I bought
paper?
for Camp Smokey.
And then.
Hi, Kim!
Hey.
Kim's in the chat.
Okay, let's see what we're doing here. I'll read this here a little later.
No. Okay. I think it would be really. Look at the Post-it note.
It's a hat. That's a nipple.
Post-it note, Dad.
It's a titty
Look at
hat.
the Post-it note. It has a lot of names. It has many names.
Okay,
The hat has many
The
names.
titty hat has many names. It's the titty turban, the beanie abreast, the noggin knocker, the I can't read that one.
Though I can't read that one.
Hold it up.
Lady bit leghorn.
Yeah, a leghorn's a type of hat.
Oh.
It's a woven hat. Yeah, knitted hat.
All right.
It's a-
Or your favorite, the booby beret.
Yes.
All right.
He
Wait.
wore a
Wait,
booby
what's the one you
beret.
can't read?
The kind you get from a friend who crochets. It's a beret. It's a beret.
It has a giant titty.
But
All right, I'm for it.
listen for a second. It is made of cotton, and as you wear it, it will soften. And if you put it like back like a beret, just a little bit, honey, you look like so doofy.
But then you can't
Okay,
see the.
But
you can't see the
listen.
nipple.
As you wear it, it's going to be fantastic because the cotton will soften and kind of move like an actual breast.
Well, me and
So
Mikey.
it will loosen up and look like it's a well-used memory.
Sunday night.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm going to wear this everywhere. Sunday, me and Mikey are leaving for Wisconsin, and we're going to do some major fishing for the week. And I'm going to wear this the whole trip. This is no, because it's got enough room so I can drive the Jeep and keep and tuck my excessively long hair into
I
it.
actually intended that. I was like, I want to make it big enough for him to put all his hair in it.
Hey, Dad, you know it'd be much funnier if I wore.
Hey, maybe we could take turns.
Every stop.
But what I really want to do is I want to have the Zubaz pants that I wore all through WJHC, and my wrestling belt and this hat, and then just a shirt, just no buttons. I'm gonna walk into gas stations, just like, what's up, man?
So confused.
So Kim asks me if I modeled that off of her breastfed nips. She says she's honored. No, I actually modeled that off of mine at about 9 months of breastfeeding. So that's about how big my. Did you freeze? No, you didn't freeze. You were like
Where did this conversation go? Okay.
Kim, comment.
We're gonna need photographic proof that you didn't model this off of her breasts.
Just instantly starts looking at the wall.
Mikey, my 6'4" son, hasn't hit puberty yet, so he's.
Excuse me, actually hitting puberty.
Yeah.
I think he's 6'4". I think the puberty has hit.
It's been
even though his mustache rivals mine. And look at all his fur right in that area. That's just good. He's getting that sideburns. I love the titty hat. I'm gonna have way too much fun with the titty hat.
I am so glad. I showed it to Amber and Vinny, and they were like, "Oh, that's the best thing ever." It's hilarious.
I hope you bring that to work one day.
Well, it's like the movie Little Nicky, the Adam Sandler movie, where got tit head, and so now I can be.
What if it's like a background prop in or Camp Smokey?
No, there's no way I would have a tit hat out in the woods after 30 years of my own. We might use it in WJC or in CGM though.
I want to figure out how to make a hot dog gun for CGM.
I would just think it'd be
The
funny
thing
if
about-
you just go out in the forest or something like that and just find a titty hat.
I'll wear it for every time I'm actually behind the camera. I'll wear it, so when people take pictures of me behind the camera, I got the titty hat on. But
Oh,
I-
Just
I-
the
put it over
picture.
your
There's the
face.
guy with the boob on his
I
head.
can't spoil what CGM, which is computer generated movie. I can't talk about that movie at all because it'll
Then
spoil it. But the concept for this movie is so ridiculous that people are it's going to be more divisive than The Hike, which has, The Hike, which has got as many 1-star reviews as 5-star reviews and none in the middle. This is going to be like, people are going to hate this movie or love this movie. There's going to be no middle ground to it because it is going to be the concept. It's a conceptual movie. It's going to be so ridiculous, and there is no fourth wall. There's no walls. This movie's going to be all over the
One
place.
wall, 2 wall, 3 wall, fourth
I-
wall, maybe a 5th wall.
Yeah, I think after
No walls.
I think after that, I think that'll be the 4th movie. I think we're planning on that to be the 4th movie, and that is going to be a riot to film because there's 50% of the script isn't going to be wrote. That's how weird this movie's going to be. There's not going to be half of a script. So
I'm gonna be like, "What's my line? Oh, just
Basically
pretend
improv.
to do this." Oh,
nope,
okay.
it's not even going to be improv. You'll have to. It's one of these we can't. It's going to almost have to be like a secret movie where we can't talk about it until it releases because
So it's Fight Club.
the way it's going to be done is, and it might fail.
Genius.
It might be horrible because a lot of it is out of our control. So, but still gonna have fun doing it.
Going for a genius movie.
But I can't wait to get started on Camp Smokey. We're gonna film the final scene for WJHC this weekend in Asheville, not Nashville. And then that's a wrap, and then Vinny's going to start working on it, hopefully for a Halloween release. Maybe even he might even be done with it earlier than that. He might be done with it. And I hope he gets done with it early because he's not going to be on set for Camp Smokey until he's done editing WJHC, and I kind of need him on set. So
I think after his experience on the hike in the woods, I think he's trying to avoid the woods, like the plague that looks like it afflicted his legs. Yeah, he's a recovered plague victim. I'd love him. Bless his heart.
I just want him. It's like me filming a movie. No, this is nothing against you and Amber and Mikey, who are going to be, main cast and crew and everything on this, but filming anything without Vinny is going to be weird. Just because I kind of need
being there.
He needs me to rein him in on a lot of things, but I also need him to rein me in on a lot of things.
What time are we planning on being in Asheville?
I don't know.
You don't know
because we're filming with Spaceman Jones, and he actually has a show that night, or at some point he's got a wrestling show that he does a great wrestling show out there called, I think it's Urban Combat Wrestling.
That sounds fun.
And it's well produced. It's like episodic TV. It's not like a wrestling show, but he's got something going that night, and so Vinny talked to him, and I haven't talked to Vinny in a couple of days, which is sad, really.
Yeah. I don't know how you're still breathing. How are you not going through DTs and like doing the shakes and stuff?
Well, I'm trying to leave him alone, mostly so he can conceptualize the editing he's got to do, because he has got a monumental task. Because really, while WJHC is a story that takes place over the course of about 4 days, there's flashbacks, and there's also different thematic elements in different places that we filmed. You know, like there's a chaos aspect, because again, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's probably not one of the best movies of all time, but one of my
Better.
favorite movies of all time is Richard Donner's original Superman movie. Because if you watch it, it starts off, the first 20 minutes of it is a sci-fi, planet exploding, world in chaos movie. And then for the next half an hour they're in Smallville, and it's this rural, big, sweeping, beautiful, movie. And then the last hour is a slapstick comedy, and they piece it together so wonderfully. And that's what I'm hoping Vinny can take care of or can do in this, but it's not going to be in 3 acts. It's going to be all of that in 1 act, where it's just, bam, 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 bam. So we're hoping that I'm hoping that he can do it. And I almost wanted them to change aspect ratios in the movie. Like every time they were in a certain thing was happening, it be in a television, the 4:3 aspect ratio. And then when he's in another aspect, he does the full widescreen. Another one he does 16:9. I kind of, but that would be ridiculous to try to put on Amazon. Something like that.
They'd probably argue.
Yeah.
Say that it wasn't right for whatever reason.
Well, that's another reason we can't do there's some places that Amazon can't release our movie because they still do 4:3 aspect ratio, which is the old square TVs. What they still have? I mean, we as a
some people do still have those.
We as a country have it so freaking good, we don't realize it. We
really do.
We have it so amazingly good that we argue about the dumbest things and we fight about the dumbest things and we make problems. It's like I always say at every job I've been at, like when I worked at the police department, there was a sergeant that was a complete asshole. It was a completely hostile work environment. And
don't get whacked for saying this.
Okay. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but
okay.
And our whole goal was he was going to quit and do something else, and we just made sure that happened. And he was the sole problem. There was no other problems in the world besides this guy.
No world hunger, HIV.
No other problems
in
the department. There was in the department, no other problems. There was no little things here and there. And then I said, here's the problem. Once he quits, all these little things that we don't realize are problems are going to become big problems. And that's where we're at as America, is we've got so many of the big problems solved that we're creating
smaller problems.
Small problems are becoming, mountains out of molehills are becoming mountains. And that's a tough place to it's a good place to be, but it's a shit place to be because, I was wanting to do, I've been trying to stay away from political posts because I'm so in the middle on stuff. Like I'm sitting there, I watch Fox and then I watch CNN, probably about half hour each. And you get 2 sides of the same story and you realize that it's like COVID, overblown bullshit. The insurrection riots on January 6th, overblown bullshit. Racism, overblown bullshit. The girl getting, quitting the Olympics because of mental anguish, overblown. Everything's overblown bullshit. And we don't need to be there as a country.
I believe the term is outrage porn.
Yeah.
People gravitate towards drama.
Yeah.
Which is indicative of a lack of healing within themselves.
And the main problem is you can't get straight news.
Yeah.
Can't get the good one.
No, there's absolutely zero factual journalism-based news anywhere. Everything is from a bias. Mm-hmm. And I just it's disgusting. And we can't trust journalism anymore. So the only thing we can trust, they're telling us not even to trust our own eyes with things. You didn't see any riots last summer. There's no such thing as Antifa.
What?
There's not.
We're being gaslit.
Yeah, I haven't been watching the news recently.
You know, and but that's kind of why we want to do, because I'm starting to notice that all of even my favorite things in the world is these Marvel TV shows and movies, especially these last couple Marvel TV shows are my favorite thing. But even then, political correctness and political bias is creeping into those shows. And almost every movie I've seen, like that stupid Gunpowder Milkshake movie, it's all woke, you know, it's all woke bullshit. It's all, you know, woke supremacists made these movies. And you know, I'm watching, they're changing the rules of Dungeons and Dragons because the Drow is a black race of
dark elves.
Yeah, dark elves, and so that's racist. And I'm like,
no, it's not. What the?
And I'm like, so we're trying to make entertainment that is free of that. That is just because we think, and I think my son would agree, and I know you agree, we think that we are post woke, where it doesn't matter anymore. You know, Vinny can have a love interest that is black, and there's nothing to say about it. There's nothing to say about it. It's not acknowledged, you know, because everything, you know, I'm watching every show I watch on Netflix. There has to be a lesbian relationship in it now. I don't know why. Even there's like a G-rated thing I watched because it just came on after another show I was watching, and it had a lesbian relationship. And I'm like, you don't have to corkscrew this in to every plot point. Just let it be. And when you watch Camp Smokey, there's, you know, these things aren't going to be corkscrewed in. You know, we got to get back to the time where we can just have fun with entertainment, because it's entertainment. It's not. Sometimes things don't have to make you think. Sometimes little things don't have to piss you off. They just have to exist. It's called, look at the cat sleeping. That's how we're going to get post wokeism, is by just letting things breathe. And that's what we're trying to do. It's one of the things we're trying to do. That's one of the points of The Hike. You know, every one of our movies has a very deep philosophical message. The point of The Hike was the breakdown of communication. In stressful situations, they could be made less stressful and solved with communication. And we're
Mikey, you've got a lot of bass coming through your.
It's where you're plugged in, because you keep moving around and it's at your outlet.
Mm-hmm.
But we're almost done for the day. But I just want, after getting on with my tit hat, and getting on
it's the booby beret.
Speaking of presents, I still find it funny that you spent $100 on a freaking, was it 2 foot tall Pikachu thing?
Hey, I love you, son. I'll buy you anything. I bought him this Funko Pop.
Yeah, one second.
For his birthday.
Oh,
and if you've seen Funko Pops, you know how, you know, this right
the
here.
Booby Beret has a.
It's 2 times bigger than my head.
What?
That's
insanity.
This is the normal size Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is $100.
Hey, I love
does it light up?
No, just
no,
a Funko
it's just,
Pop.
Is it? Yeah, it's just a
It
Funko
doesn't
Pop.
open or anything?
No, it's just
like,
a Funko Pop.
You can't hide
it's just
drugs in it?
$100
I'm sure you could figure a way to hide your weed.
Yeah, like
that
should hold something. And it'd be like a cookie jar. Unscrew his head and just like reach into his torso and my cookies.
When I was growing up, we didn't have the money to have things. If I wanted things, I had to mow lawns and stuff, and so I don't want my kids
like
to have to go
Markiplier
through
over here.
I don't want my kids to have to go through that. I want them, if they want something stupid, I want them to have something stupid. You know.
So basically, everything I own in my room,
yes, is a whole bunch of stupidity in your room. So we're gonna wrap it up for the night, guys.
Hey, I want to shout out to my cousin, Jean Yaste. She is Future Twin. This is her band. Look her up on Spotify. She's amazing.
Yep, and also, hey, tell her to get a song together for us to put in the next movie, or to put at WJHC. And Go to our YouTube page where we are right now.
Yes.
If you look down, you will see links for the music of the hike, where you can catch songs from Spaceman Jones, Miles Engel, a couple Fish Fisher, people that contributed. Check out those songs. They're actually, all the songs are really good. We were really blessed with a great soundtrack for that.
Especially Zombie Love.
Yes, Zombie Love's a great song from Fish Fisher. Click like, subscribe, whatever white people do.
All these white people YouTube
if you will,
asking for subscribers.
You will not have a hard time clicking on any of our Facebook pages and finding a link to the hike. Watch it, review it. Please leave us, leave us an honest review. I'm not asking for, because I don't think the 1-star reviews are dishonest. They're just dishonest.
They're just dumb.
Yeah, every person that left like one person was glowing about the movie but left a 1-star review. The 1-star reviews are dishonest. 5-star reviews also kind of dishonest. This is a 3-star movie, so if you leave an honest review, I want critique. I want that. I need that.
You need positive, full-on,
honest feedback.
Yes,
honest feedback.
Because if I don't have honest feedback, then I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I'm doing.
Then you're not gonna learn.
Yeah, we're not gonna learn. We're not gonna make better movies. The plots and the scripts will be great, but the movies will be
shitty.
Yeah, will look bad. So honest reviews. And guys, we're gonna go. Click subscribe to the channel. Go watch the hike. We love you. Big and Funky loves you. That Tracy person loves you. Funkmaster VII loves you. Peace out, babies.
Peace out.